Hello everyone, welcome back to my art channel. Today's video is all about drawing and coloring faces. So drawing faces is a little bit hard for me personally because our brains are so used to seeing faces. They are conditioned to identify flaws easily. For example, if the proportions of the facial features are off, we're gonna notice that almost immediately. So that makes drawing faces a little bit challenging. I'm fairly new to drawing, so a basic technique that I use is to start off with an oval and then divide it using a vertical and a horizontal line. Then I place the eyes along the horizontal line and the nose and the mouth along the vertical line. So once that's done, I change the shape of the face by changing the shape of the oval depending on which direction the face is looking, and also things like the gender and the age of the face. For example, rounder faces generally look younger because the cheeks tend to look fuller when the face is round. So if we want to paint a youngish looking person, it's a good idea to get the face, get the shape of the face rounder. These are the four faces that I drew. I'm gonna color them using my Mungyo oil pastels. By the way, these are the water soluble oil pastels. I found it interesting that we have water soluble oil pastels out there. I went ahead and bought the 24 color set. It's a pretty limited palette, but I like how these colors behave in water. They're very flexible, just like watercolors, but not as thin and runny as watercolors. Um, I would probably do a separate review of these pastels in a later video. For now, I'm gonna start coloring by applying the darks first. The darks are the shadow areas that usually appear around the hairline, below the chin, below the eyes, by the sides of the nose. So those are usually shadow areas that you can color in darker colors. The rest of the face, and especially the cheeks, the forehead and the top of the nose, are usually where light falls directly on. So those areas tend to be lighter in color. That's just a general guideline that I follow. I honestly don't have a specific method of applying color when painting faces, but I must also add that I'm drawing a pretty basic set of faces here, so adding more character and expression to these faces is going to take more technique and skill, and that's going to be a lot more complicated than these. Alright, let's move on to oil pastels now. I'm using a very cheap brand here, which is the Pentel 50 color set. Notice how I'm starting off with the darks again to add the shadows and then gradually move on to lighter colors. This is a basic blending technique of oil pastels. You start off with the darks first before moving on to lighter colors. Also, when you apply oil pastels, you need to put enough pressure so that the background won't show through. This is different to the way you apply watercolors and the water soluble oil pastels that I used earlier. The water soluble oil pastels work more like watercolors than oil pastels, and I applied them pretty loose with a lot of background showing through. That is how watercolors work, and this is how oil pastels normally work. So a lot of people ask me why I haven't done a painting in a long time, and whether it's because I started this channel that I don't have time to paint anymore. I think it's because I've been really busy lately with all kinds of family matters and work. That's why I haven't been able to do a proper painting in a while. Recently, someone asked me to paint a fiance for his birthday, and I had to turn the request down because I don't think I can recreate realistic human faces. Most of the faces that I paint are rather spontaneous and unplanned, and I don't have a specific idea how a face would turn up before I start painting. I just kind of go with the flow and pick the colors that I feel like going with at that point. Also, in a previous video, I said that I bought a bunch of art supplies and I'm waiting for them to be delivered. So they got delivered a few weeks back, but I still didn't get time to use them in a proper painting. But I got the chance to try them out and test some of those pastels that I bought. One of them is the Cray-pas Specialist Oil Pastels, the 25 color set. I know that these pastels have some good reviews as a mid-range and above student grade oil pastel. Some even rank these as artist quality, but surprisingly, I didn't like how these blend and apply on the paper. I felt like they didn't apply smoothly enough and that they lack pigment. I prefer the Pentel more than these. Comparatively, the Pentel oil pastels are much cheaper. I only paid about $5 for the entire 50 color set of the Pentel, whereas I had to pay close to $30 for the Cray-pas 25 color set. So I don't know, maybe I should use these in a proper painting before making a final judgment. But my first impression of them hasn't been too positive. So that's about it for drawing faces. I hope you like the video. Please do subscribe to my channel and leave a comment if there's something you want to discuss. Thanks for watching and I'll see you in my next video. Bye bye.